What is up, Cleveland Browns fans? It's your old friend IndyCar Timm here with the Cleveland Browns Daily Blitz podcast and some big news. We knew there would be changes up and down the roster here as the Browns and other teams across the NFL have to shrink their 90-man offseason rosters down to just 53 before Tuesday's deadline. And we knew there were potentially going to be quarterback changes. We just didn't know who those changes what those changes would be, who would be gone, who would stay. And on Monday, we get a little hint of that as the Browns have sent Kenny Pickett, one of the veterans, kind of veterans, I guess, to the Las Vegas Raiders, leaving now, both GM Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski said they were okay with 4 quarterbacks on the roster. Well, you now have 4 quarterbacks on the roster. I don't know that it's the 4 that we thought it would be. With Joe Flacco as your starter, Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders as your rookies. And yes, folks, Deshaun Watson is still technically on the roster. So he is your 4th quarterback as we will head into week 1 with Joe Flacco starting. And who will be his primary backup? We don't know. It'll most likely be one of the rookies unless they make other moves. And with Snoop Huntley gone now, it is what it is. I don't know that this was the 4 we thought we would see. I think we all thought that Joe Flacco would be the starter. At least I did. But now with the 2 rookies still in the room, one of those guys obviously will be the primary backup. Adam Schefter was the first to report this on X. And, of course, the Raiders in desperate need of a quarterback after Aiden O'Connell fractured his wrist in the preseason finale. He is the backup to Geno Smith. Geno Smith will still obviously be the quarterback there, but Aiden O'Connell, a very competent backup, will now be replaced by Kenny Pickett while he heals his wrist. So the Browns continuing to make cuts. Kenny Pickett, of course, had been dealing with a hamstring injury here during the preseason and got very, very limited playing time, but the Browns announced that they expected him to be ready for week 1. And that's exactly what the Raiders need. They need a guy that's going to be ready for week 1. Now, we had initially thought maybe with the announcement from the Bucs that Kyle Trask was being waived with an injury buyout after he hurt his shoulder in the Bucs preseason finale. We thought maybe there would be some interest from the Raiders in Kyle Trask because of the link there between the front office in the Raiders and the Bucs organization. But the Raiders really need somebody that's healthy that can step in if necessary week 1, and Kyle Trask will not be ready to do anything in week 1. So the move makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense for the Raiders. It makes a lot of sense for the Browns. I have not seen yet what the haul was for Kenny Pickett to the Browns. But as soon as we get that, we will come back and let everybody know. You can find out also over on Athlon Sports, the Cleveland Browns page on Athlon Sports, where I write the majority of the content for you folks over there. Appreciate y'all tuning in there. So, big news for the quarterback room in Cleveland as we see it's beginning to take shape here a little bit. And I believe it's beginning to take shape kind of what we all thought it might. In my prediction, if you boys and girls want me to throw that out there for you, I would hazard a guess that you're going to have Dillon Gabriel as the primary backup to Joe Flacco, while Shedeur Sanders will be your practice squad guy / your emergency third quarterback until the Browns can see some semblance that Shedeur Sanders has remembered how to play football, because he did not look good in the preseason finale at all. I was extremely disappointed. I had higher hopes for Shedeur. Don't know that I thought he would beat out Dillon Gabriel or be better than Gabriel was here in the preseason and in training camp. Not highly impressed with either guy, to be quite honest with you. But look, these guys are rookies. You expect a little bit of that. But The key focus here will be Joe Flacco, keeping him healthy to where we don't need to find out if Dylan Gabriel or Shedeur Sanders can play in the regular season. We just need to roll with Flacco. And then don't forget, I hate to bring this up, it's a sore subject for some of you guys. Don't forget that Deshaun Watson could be ready to see playing time in December, maybe even November. Now, it's a long shot. Would the Browns do that to Joe Flacco? Would they do that to the team? Would they do that to the fan base? Would they do that to themselves? I don't know. I think the Browns are just ready to wash their hands of Deshaun Watson and let him go next offseason. But you never know with these things, you know. Does anybody expect the Browns to be in a kind of a playoff hunt? No, probably not. Again, we don't know what we'll see. I have a lot of faith in Joe Flacco. It just kind of depends on everybody else. So we will see. But that is your breaking news. Coming out of Cleveland, Kenny Pickett, a Las Vegas Raider. We'll come up with some more Cleveland Browns discussion for you guys as the regular season approaches. Week 1 against the Cincinnati Bengals at Huntington Bank Field. When we get done with roster cuts here on Tuesday, we will continue to update everybody if there's any surprises or any shakeups that we didn't see coming. We will certainly let you know about that. Until then, boys and girls, I am IndyCar Timm here on FanStream Sports, and we'll see you